Oh, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning.
All's well? Thank you very much, young lady.
Yes, sir. Quiet on the home front.
That's all you can ask for.
Which is good.
I
All right, well, how are you?
Not bad for old man. Still here.
All right.
Yourself?
You're good. It's Monday, and that's all we have to say about that.
Like time is going faster and faster.
Isn't it? My mother always said that.
It is.
The older you get,
It goes faster and
what is
faster.
that about? I don't know.
The body's
Well-
internal clock is winding down.
Oh, is that what you think?
Oh, that's
I
what
think it's more like, I don't even know what. I don't
Yeah.
even know how to.
time.
I don't know.
You see, God said a day is like 1,000 years to him, and 1,000 years is like a day. So I'm going to say, as you get older, you're more cognitive of the time than when you were younger, because you got plenty of time. I could do this, I could do
Yeah,
that.
but I don't think about like, I've got X amount of years. I mean,
No, I'm talking about you got time to do things. When you're young, you just go do them.
Oh, I see.
But when you get older, I got this, I'm kind of set into a schedule. I got to make sure I get up. I got to go to work from 8 to 5. Got to do this.
That's
Got the
true.
kid.
But you do that when you're 30,
Sometimes, some people don't, because I got
40.
friends who 40, they still like, they just live by
they still-
a whim.
That's interesting.
I have my day, I have a planner. I have to have a planner. 'Cause
Yeah.
I can't remember what I did yesterday, but I write it down. I can look in the planner. What do you have to do? It kind of keeps me
Yeah.
stable, so to speak.
Gotcha. Okay. Any other thoughts going on this week? Anything different this week?
No, just your usual.
Nothing unusual? Nothing unusual.
No, nothing unusual. I didn't stayed home and read a lot, on psychology, and one of my psychological first aids. I got to read a lot bit more, like my community and position, how people take mental health, and we take it as taboo. And
I know.
I'm reading, and it's because we grew up saying that you as a man, you can't cry, you can't show any emotions. And so I was reading on that, to see could I identify with any of that as a barrier to me actually going forward with my life, because a lot of times we're stuck in the moment. I want to be in the present, not,
Yes, that's right.
So I read about a guy named was David Livermore. I read about Winfred Corden, read two other people, Toomey and Chung, two husband and wife who wrote a book on psychological for African Americans, black community,
Okay.
how therapists look at us and how they take it.
I don't know how therapists, you don't know what I'm, like, not you, but they don't know how I'm thinking.
No, they just say in general. They want therapists to be this. They want the patient to be this, and you're trying to
In
come
general,
to
not about African
right.
Americans.
Okay.
Okay.
And you want to come to the middle, and
Okay.
maybe you get the person
Well,
to come out of that moment.
Okay.
So I have to read that and write on it, which helps me. So I get
I
to
just
see.
thought you were saying something about
No.
how therapists.
Because if they could, they'd be winning the lottery. So they just come up with their idea. Like one of the books is on the guy wrote about Livermore. He wrote about how we take faith as a community and then put it toward trauma or crisis. And if God does not deliver, then we have another trauma. It's
Oh gosh,
that's
that's horrible.
Well,
Because God doesn't pick it each. Well, I don't know. Everybody has a different thing on that.
Yeah.
And that's the big mystery.
yeah,
Is
because
how do you explain? This
I'm praying to you, and you're supposed to be
No,
good and
there's
take care of
people-
me, and all this is happening.
Yeah,
Can
pretty
you
much.
help me?
That's the human suffering question. But
Yeah.
then you have those ones where the person, like those, on occasion somebody will be in the hospital and they're, I don't know, have the doctors say, this is not going to be good. This is not, like 99.9% of people, or almost everybody, perishes or whatever. And then this person, like, they have a prayer chain or something, and then this person, like, the doctors kind of go, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, the person lives and they do okay, and the doctors are sitting there going, this never happens.
Right.
And then, so those kind of things you have to wonder. It's just, but it doesn't make sense, because then you're picking that guy over, that's the part that doesn't
That
make
is the
sense.
question.
That is the question, isn't it?
Yeah. So I grew up religious background, parents, Bible, prayer, church, Sunday, the summer. And then I had several traumas back to back. The military, that my parents both of them died back to back. Then my sisters died, my niece, my brother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
And you say, but I pray to God, that you would bless the people. Then as you get a little bit older, the more you read, which helps me, you find out that, his ways are past finding out. His thoughts are not your thoughts. And how can you make that relate to my faith? My faith says you can do anything. Why would you allow me to?
Exactly.
So that was the question this weekend.
It's odd. And you could say it for so many things. Right? I know somebody personally who was one step from the curb, and they got hit by a car. One step. We're talking maybe a second or two.
Whole life.
And God didn't intervene. I mean, I understand that there's a whole book on God, why God doesn't intervene or whatever. But then you have these other people then other people will say, well, that was God. I'm like, well, how can you have both? I mean, I'm just saying, my whole point is, it's just the mystery. It's just the mystery of the world, right?
I used to always say this one
the
thing.
mystery of the world.
When I see God, I'm asking these questions. But by the end, then it came to me as I get older. It won't even matter. But I want to know now, I told God, take 5 years of my life, let my mother live. My mother was dying. God save my mother. Take 5 of mine.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like that,
All right, you want to?
I'm ready.
Okay. So you tell me ways that you self-regulate. I just want to view that for about 1 minute. That you self-regulate.
I quote scripture. I have to go.
Okay.
I have to go.
You
My prayer closet.
Your container was your, your safe place was your prayer room.
Yes, ma'am.
Your container was, I think, a safe. Wait a minute.
What's that?
Sorry. Container means we had already put the stuff in something.
Lock it up. Yes, ma'am.
What was it?
I can put it in the safe.
Hold on, let me make sure. Let me make sure.
At least you got 5.
No, that's wrong.
What is it?
You said God holds it.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, well, that's not safe, but
Yeah.
I mean, some people actually literally say a box or a safe, a metal thing.
1 Peter 5:7. Cast all your cares upon me because I care about you.
So, and then your wise person is your mother. Okay, your prayer room is your calm place. And you decided to use a train. Instead of you're sitting in a train.
Traveling on Amtrak.
And, you can see the big window beside you, but you're in this thing, and you're just watching the stuff over there.
Right. Instead of the theater, I'm sitting in the back.
Yeah, you said train.
Right.
So you're cool.
Yeah, instead of the theater, I took the train. Right.
That's right. Okay. All right. So what I want to do, so we know what the memory is, right? That's the guy. What do you call him? Sergeant? What do you call him?
No, specialist. Freddie Hubbard.
What is it?
Specialist. It was spec 4 for short.
Specialist.
Yeah, 4th class. Yeah, he was trying to become a corporal.
Okay, and then the memory. What we do here is I want you to pick the worst part of that memory. So we know it's all what it is, but you pick one frame that's the image or that represents the worst part of that situation.
You put my hand on the blood on the wound, and it's coming up to my hand. The bandages was not enough.
Okay. And when you think of that image, which is interesting, I didn't think you'd say that. I thought you'd say something else. That's why we asked. That's what when you think of that image, what is your negative belief about yourself now? And it would be usually an I statement. When you look at that, the belief.
Yeah.
One sentence now. Don't get off on. You get off on tangent.
I got one. We're responsible for each other, buddies.
So I what?
I feel.
Nope, not feel. It's a belief. Not
What's
about
that?
Feelings. It's not about feelings.
So my belief.
Cognition.
I could have done something to prevent this.
I could have prevented it. Now, with that's not the same thing as it's my fault, right? Or is it?
Yes.
I need to know what you really believe
General,
sometimes when you think of that. Just give me one sentence that you believe about yourself now when you think about that.
I could have checked the weapon. I could have checked the weapon.
And that's not a belief. That's a That's a rational thought.
Okay. So how do I distinguish the
Talking
two?
about belief. What do you believe about yourself now?
My belief, I could have prevented it.
But it's more of a negative. So if we turn over I believe I could have prevented it,
Mm-hmm.
then the belief is what in a negative way? I
Fail?
failed.
Yeah.
All right, now when you think of that, and again, we want to sort of stay focused on this thing. All right, I failed. And when you think of that image, what would you like to believe about yourself now?
I could have done better.
Well, no, that still goes back to the failed
Okay.
thing. What do you want to believe about yourself now that's fine? Like what would you like to believe about yourself now that's okay, that's
I haven't thought that far.
what?
I never thought that far. So, any suggestions?
Yeah, I do.
I was,
Now, don't necessarily take one off of here. This
Right.
is just
yeah.
one of 150.
General.
A zillion. Just. Oh, I'm sorry. You're looking at this side.
No.
Here.
This side?
You're looking at this side.
Oh, okay. Not this side. Connotation.
It may not be on there. Remember, this is just a
It's
general. thing.
something that's general, not specific.
Well, I mean, it's just that there's more than this. It's just giving you some.
I did the best I could. Would be closer.
It may not be on there.
No, that's the closest I can get. I did the best I could.
Well, without thinking too formally, just what would you if we were sitting here and you're like, I'm good, like it was horrible, but I'm good, I'm okay, I understand. Not that you understand it. Not only you understand it, but you just know that it wasn't your fault, or that's not really a positive cognition. But like I'm innocent of all that. I'm innocent of what happened because you are really.
Right.
But that's what you'd like to believe. But it's sort of along those lines. Like I'm innocent of any wrongdoing or any failure. Like. Because we usually don't put I didn't fail. It's more like you flip it to say, instead of I didn't fail, it's more like
I did the best I could.
Okay, we'll go with that, and that's okay. And that's not the main, we just want whatever belief goes on in your head to not be there anymore. We like to flesh it out to where you can say, it wasn't my fault, might be a part of that. I'm gonna put that in parentheses. Does that feel like something you'd like to not?
What's that?
It wasn't my fault.
No, it wasn't my fault.
You know that already.
No, I'm just.
Okay.
I'm repeating what you said. Okay, it wasn't my fault,
okay.
And the closest.
See, that's
thing.
a little different than we really like the I statements because it's a belief about ourselves that's irrational,
Wow.
based on stuff. I am faultless. I don't know. That's just a way of. I am clear of any wrongdoing or something like that.
They cleared us. They didn't take us to jail, but.
But I am clear of any wrongdoing. I am. Some of this preparation is
Okay.
a little tough.
Yeah, I'm a loss at words for that.
Okay. I did the best I could.
I did the best.
I mean, because we'll go with that because mostly it's the processing that's gonna. Okay, so when you think of, I did the best I could. Usually, when you look at that image, you say I did the best I could. It doesn't resonate. It feels false because right now because a false belief got stuck. Does that make sense? A false belief. It's like I told you, hitting the dog. It's midnight, black dog. I was going 2 miles an hour and I still killed him, and I say it's my fault, when really that's a false belief. I was doing nothing wrong. It's just a happening, right? So if I were to say it was my fault, excuse me, I was clear of anything, it would, oh God, this is the hardest scale to explain. So when you think of that image and the words, oh yeah, I did the best I could, usually that would seem false right now, okay? Because you're still struggling with it. So that would be a low number, 1 to 7, that would be a low number. Just on a scale of 1 to 7, where 7 is true and 1 is false, how true does that feel to you now? I did the best I could with that image.
It's about a 2.
Yeah, okay. And what emotions are going on right now when you think about this image or memory or whatever?
2 words, if only.
No, that's not an emotion. That's a thought.
Yeah, if only.
What's your emotions right now? You got to get tap into your body.
Life, you know.
Nope. Feelings, Preston.
I'm feeling.
Feelings.
Yeah, I feel bad.
Tap into your, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
you know.
But I mean, other feelings that you just feel like in your body.
Regret.
That's a thought.
Yeah.
Just right now, like just take a little body thought here, like body.
Confusion. Hurt. Pain.
There you go. Okay. Now, when you think of that image and the memory and everything, how disturbing, 0 to 10 does that feel now, where 10 is the highest?
I'm about 8 now.
Okay, 8. And where, locate in your body, where do you feel that hurt or
like red
pain
hair.
or whatever? Okay.
Like, you know, like I stop breathing when I talk about it.
So, where's the breathing part?
Right in my stomach, so I'm
It
trying
is?
to breathe. Yeah, so I'm
Okay,
trying to breathe.
okay. All right.
It's like I stopped.
Okay, now, remember what we talked about for calming yourself down if you need to, right? If you remember, and also remember the thing we did with the tunnel? Remember we talked about the tunnel?
If you go in, you're going to come on out, or you're going to keep going.
Moving through, it's
keep going.
better if you can,
Right.
but I don't want you to get to a point where you feel like you just are gonna, like something, you know, usually this doesn't happen. Here's the thing, okay? When people do this, they kind of have this kind of like anxiety or woo about it, right? Because like, ooh, what's gonna happen? Best I can, and then that gets them, but most of the time, even people that have panic attacks and stuff, when you're doing the actual work, they don't have a panic attack because they're addressing it straight on. They know it's just out here. You know what I'm saying? It's from the past. Most anxiety comes from current or future, mostly future. So most people that think they're going to have all these issues don't, because it's past. We're facing it. We're just letting it happen. All we're doing, Preston, is just noticing. That's the big word. We're just noticing. Okay. And people get real worked up, and it's like, wait a minute. It's not going to be, you know, like, ugh, like there's nothing you haven't been thinking about anyway. Think about it. It's not that you haven't thought about this a lot.
It's not a shock.
That's what I'm saying. Right. It's not something. It's just we're doing it in succession with taps.
Okay.
Okay. So, but remember, if you feel like you're just cannot continue for whatever reason, just do me a timeout or a stop or something like that, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
But again, if it's difficult, we're not saying stop it necessarily. It's just if you really feel like you're just gonna, you know, you just cannot handle it.
I don't want to see.
What I'm saying? Like
yes,
a physical something's going on, or you know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll start with what we do is let me definitely do this with you, because you're definitely a planner and everything else. Okay, now listen, this is important. And we start with the image that's the worst. It doesn't mean it probably just won't stay there. We just start there. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is you have to let this just happen. You can't sit there and try to make it do this or try to take it chronologically or whatever. You just, while we're doing, in fact, you get to do nothing. It's beautiful. You get to do nothing.
That's
but
good.
Just notice. Okay, so you're not trying to get to anything. You're not trying to think of anything. In fact, when I ask you in between sets, I'm going to ask you, what did you get, or what did you notice? And you don't go off on editorial comments or anything like that. All I'm asking you is, what did you get? What images came? And you don't have to do every single one, but just what did you generally get? And you'll say, well, it started with this, and then it went to this, and then it went to that, and I saw this and that, or then somebody, okay, and then I go, okay, and then I start doing another set.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're not going to elaborate. We're not going to talk about it. Nothing like that. This is all this is. It's just, what did you notice? You tell me a little bit of blurb about what you noticed, and the last part of that is where you start for the next set. So at the end of what you saw, that set, we call it sets, then you'll say, yeah, the last thing was blah, blah, blah. And I'll say, okay, go with that. You start right there and keep going. Okay, does that make sense? So we're not editorializing, we're not talking about feelings, we're talking, you can, I'm not saying you can't tell me something, but I'm just saying we don't go off on that. We really are doing what you noticed. Okay, all right. Okay, so start with, and then, we're probably, we'll see where we go. All right, so start with the hand on and remember, we're on the train. You're just noticing it out there as it passes. The images just pass by, okay? You got me? Okay, all right. So, so bring up the image of you're on the train, and you're gonna bring up the image of your hand on the wound, and it may not stay there, really, probably won't. And the brain will just want to process it the way it wants to process it, and that's okay. That's what we like. All right, so start with that image. You with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and just start there and just see what happens. Okay, just see what images. You have to do nothing. Just let it go. Okay, go. Okay, that was a short one, short set. What did you get there? What did you notice?
My hand on the wound.
Mm-hmm.
Blood coming up through my fingers on my right hand. The bandage I put on is not enough to stem the flow of blood.
Okay.
And I'm talking to him, and he's looking at me as he's requesting help with his eyes. Non-verbal communication.
Okay, go with that. Okay, just all you're doing is noticing what comes up on the train. Okay, go. Just go with that. Okay, what did you get there?
The light in his eyes just go out. Eyes become like charcoal.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, start with that. Keep going. Good job. What'd you get there?
Sergeant Eford comes over to try to assist. I tell him that he's dead.
Okay. And this is just coming up for you, right? You're not trying to make it go in order. It's just coming up? Okay. Okay, go with that. Good job. Okay, what'd you get there?
I notice the platoons around me as I stand up, and they go to shouting, it's not true. You made a mistake. They go to crying, like grown men crying.
Okay. All right, go with that. Doing great. What'd you get there?
UH-1 Huey helicopter coming in, landing from north to south, and the guy's asking for the piece of meat.
Oh, okay. All right, okay, go with that. You're just noticing it. Just let it go, let it flow. How'd you get there?
That's it. The helicopter, the guy.
Okay. Okay. All right, well, let's see where it goes, okay? Let's just see what comes up. Okay, come up there.
Being questioned by
Okay.
CID agent.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's telling me that, I snapped.
You snap? Okay.
Yeah, it was Birch telling me I saw you snap. And just in a room, like this.
Okay. Okay. All right, go with that. Just notice. Just notice. All right, what'd you get there?
Getting in just the condescending attitude of the agent, and
Oh, that is something. That is something. Yeah, that is something. Okay. Okay, is that it? For that set? Was that pretty much it for that set?
That's it.
Okay, well, let's just see where it goes. We're just gonna let the brain just do whatever it wants to do. See where it goes. What'd you get there?
Nothing really. Just feel like anger,
Okay. Okay, go with that.
frustration.
Yeah. Okay, just go with that. Let's just notice that. Okay. Just notice that. What happened there?
Disbelief. I was sitting in a chair.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay. Okay, go with that. Yeah. Go with that, okay? Doing great. Doing great. What'd you get there?
Ski.
Mm-hmm.
He just lost it.
Mm-hmm. You mean cried or anger? Or both? Oh,
Crying because he hit the butterfly on the weapon that caused
He did what?
He touched the trigger. If he never would have touched the trigger, round would have never went off. Probably did something else, but he was emotional, lost it.
Okay.
Everybody was trying to comfort. That's basically it. Like the lights went out. Someone turned the lights out in Georgia.
But wait, okay, let me understand if I got this right. Tell me again what you just, image-wise, what you got there, okay? I'm sorry.
Yeah, just 6'3" guys standing in front of me, crying.
Oh, crying, okay. And is this in the room still? Or is it, okay, in the room. I got you. Okay, go with that, okay? Doing great. Just go with that. Just see where it goes. Just let it go and let it flow. Once you get there.
That's it. Like the movie went off.
What's that?
It's like the movie went off. That's
Well,
it. Just ski.
I mean, what happened exactly? What images did you get there?
Not just ski. Just crying. Just ski.
Hold on.
Ski Goski just crying. That's it.
What was that part? Who?
Ski Goski.
Okay, I don't know.
Who pulled the trigger?
Okay, so he was crying.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. I didn't know. Okay. Okay. You okay? Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Take a
right.
deep breath. Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
That always helps. Okay, look, can we go there? I mean, are you okay to keep going through the tunnel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's like,
Okay.
that's it. That's all I see.
Okay. Well, we're going to see if it goes anywhere. If not, I'll do so, okay? So, what's the name again?
Ski Goski.
Okay, Ski Kelsey. So he's crying because he pulled the trigger, and he's just see what comes up, okay? Just see what comes up. Came up there.
That's just it.
So nothing else? Nothing?
Just.
With that scene?
No, just the guys crying.
What, huh? Well, that's something.
Just the guys crying. That's it. You know.
Okay,
That's-
they're still, okay, so that scene didn't move?
No, it's just like it turned off the movie.
Okay, so it sounds like Skikowski was really feeling the
Yeah.
responsibility or the impact of what
Yeah.
he
Your-
did with the point, he did the, right?
Yeah, he did the.
He did the
Yeah.
pulling of the trigger, right? Is that right?
Yeah, you know.
I'm just sort of staying with it.
Yeah,
But go ahead.
CID, because the question they ask, when they do individual, then they bring everybody together to see if the story's still the same.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it hit him, because actually they was accusing us of being complicit or conspiracy to this death of this friend of ours who we've been knowing. I've been knowing him for 4 years. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
there was no animosity, and it was the.
But Skikowski was sort of,
Yeah, because
he did
he tested trigger.
he tested the trigger.
And
So
around.
he's feeling
He was really.
horrible.
Then that kind of like made us sympathize with him.
Yeah, okay.
And,
Mhm. Okay.
it was,
All right. So, let's, what?
no, I just, I thought, I was, this chair was reminiscent of the chair for the deuce and a half, the 5 ton. It's like this, the chair, but it's a little thinner. I was sitting in a
Okay.
chair like this,
Okay.
and you could see.
Go with this chair,
Yeah.
because sometimes our body has memory of like things, and you're saying that chair was thinner, like probably that, something
Yeah.
like that, thinner.
Like a little thin chair,
Oh,
like
thin
beach chair.
All right, let's go to the chair, just because it's coming up for you, okay? And I'm just going to go with what's coming up, but you're just noticing, okay? Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So you're just noticing. That's all we're doing. We're just flushing out these memories, right? And you remember the chair now. So let's just go with the chair and let's just see where it goes. You're just noticing whatever memory you have of anything. What'd you get there?
I was just in the chair, like, thinking.
Thinking?
Yeah, what I had to do. Range NCO had to be in charge of people with weapons, and make sure these was new people. Going to be officers from Pennsylvania, ROTC, make sure that they was brief, because a lot of times they wanted to show you they knew their job better than you did. So I wanted to make sure I was safe. Like I say, I saw, it's about 8 in the morning, 8:15. And I remember get out of the chair like that, like I heard a voice, and I couldn't, and I was sitting down thinking, like, and I got out of it. I moved, and I'm like, that's strange.
It's very strange.
Yeah, and I was just thinking then.
That what came up?
Yeah. Have my life been so productive that he had to go? Was it my turn? It wasn't my turn.
Yes.
I was in the chair.
Yes, I hear you.
I took a polygraph test. And passed a polygraph test. And like, why did you? And I remember saying, why did you get out of the chair? I was like a force. And like, they look at you like,
right.
This guy's off. He's off the range. But I wasn't.
Yeah.
And
go back to what you just said. You said you heard the voice. You got out of the chair, and you said, you said something like.
It's my life been
it was
productive.
just. You said something about I'm productive. What was it?
Yeah, has my life been so productive that he had to lose his? That thought, the stoicism.
Has my life been so productive that he had to lose his?
In other words, have I actually honored his death? What have I done, in my lifetime did I waste these days I was given, And that day, it could have been 79, it could have been my day.
I see. I thought you were saying something
right.
else.
Years later, I'm still here. We was getting ready to go to Iran to rescue the hostages, and
Who was? He was?
We was. That was our
Y'all
mission.
were?
Going to Iran, rescue the hostages. Jimmy Carter was president. Ronald Reagan was coming in to run against him from California. It was a myriad of political and diplomatic intrigue. And
so you said something though. You said I have to make my days productive to honor his memory, but you said something as though it wasn't my time, or something along those lines. That was just more like kind of like I don't know, like it's just. You didn't say it was. I don't know if you said it was his time, but you were just saying maybe it wasn't yours, and something like that. That it was more. You had this just now, a minute ago. You had this kind of went like this. You were like, you kind of even went like that. You said it was just kind of what it's kind of what happened. Like I don't know. I heard the voice. I got out and I already know we talked about this, but it doesn't matter. In this moment that we're doing right now, you said, I don't know. I just got out of the chair and whatever. Right. And that's truly the thing that we won't understand. But that's what happened.
Right.
And that has nothing to do with what happened to him. You understand? Because nobody had to sit in the chair. You got out, but that doesn't mean somebody, in that moment when the guy pulled the trigger that he was sitting in. Nobody could have been sitting in the chair in that moment. Do you understand what I'm saying? In that moment where the guy pulled the trigger.
Yeah, but we was getting ready to leave.
Still,
I know.
Still, it was a second.
I know, but we was good.
It was a
I
second.
got you.
I hear what you're saying, but you went like this.
He would have never been on the truck, but he had just came back from the store.
I know, but
right.
but still, what I guess I'm getting at is you kind of went. I was told to get out of the chair. I got out of the chair.
Yeah,
and that's when the shot could have happened at that second. You with me?
Right.
It could have happened at that second before the guy got in the chair. It could have, because it took a moment for you to get out of the chair, and boom, he didn't jump right. Well, he might have. But still, that's fine. But there's still a shot. It's
right.
quick. A shot is as quick as you getting out, shoot, and then somebody getting in. There is a moment there, and a shot is so quick. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes,
it could have happened that way.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And we wouldn't be sitting here.
Yeah.
I understand.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Is you kind of went. out of the chair.
Yeah.
And the fact that he got right in the chair, even though it could have been, I mean, he could have, a lot could have happened between him trying to get in the chair. You know what I'm saying? It didn't, but you kind of went like that, as though you understand and feel that you know that a moment could have been not happened. Another moment that wouldn't have happened. Even though you got out, it could have grazed you. You could have gotten like out.
Right.
It could have been grazed your arm sleeve. I mean, there's a moment in there when you break it down that it might have not had to happen to anything for that guy. Does that make sense? Because you had to get out. He had to get in. I understand he was right behind you. I got it. And it was moving fast. But even though it's moving fast for us, there's still moments there that, moments that he might not, nobody would have been in a chair for a moment. Or would have grazed your arm getting out. Or, I mean, there's a lot of, you should say there's more time than you realize. Everything moves so fast in real time. But when we break it down and you went, I got out of the chair. There was a moment where he still could have gotten your arm. He could have gotten nothing. He could have gotten the guy's arm. He could have gotten, there's a moment there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I'm saying, I was thinking, it's a song. You said that it came. There used to be one of our songs, "Moment in Time." I forgot the group to sing that.
Doesn't matter.
But it kicked that when you say "moment in time." When I got out of the chair like this to step down, he passed me, and I said, "Give me a brown little 5-cent paper bag with my insignia," and got right in the seat.
Yeah.
That's when it happened, as soon as he got in the seat.
I mean, I get you.
Right.
I get it, but I still believe if we broke it down, there's still I know there's not much of a moment, but it could have gotten his arm. It could have gotten his
we hope it would have gotten
it could have
his
gotten his, grazed his head. It could have grazed his, there's more of a moment when you break it down than I think, because that shot's so quick. It's instant, right? It's like real time, instant. I know that it seemed like it was just like that. And it was, but I still think there's other things that could have happened.
Yeah, it could have.
He could have, like I said, you could have gotten an arm grazed. He could have gotten an arm grazed. He could have gotten his side grazed. I don't know where it went. Where did it go? Where did it go? Up here or down there?
Right through his back.
See what I'm saying?
Came out the front.
Okay, right. So it could have grazed him. It could have got. You see what I'm saying? There's more time than you're realizing that it could have happened, even though it was quick. I get it was quick for us, but if you break it down, it could have gone a different way. Grazed you, grazed him. You see what I'm saying? There was a moment that other things could have happened, even though it was, in our world, it was super quick, like in, out. I get it, and it was. But there still was that moment, because the shot's so quick, that it could have done something else. It was just that quick, and you're right. But my point is that you went like this. I just got out of the chair. You know, what do I know? Yeah. All right. So let's go back to this part where you say I failed, and I'm not saying you believe that 100% anymore, but still, that's what you're going with. Okay. Or what was the thing? Excuse me. Hold on. I did the best I could. How true does that feel to you when you think of the situation? In other words, low numbers, false. It's true as I did the best I could is 7. Where do you hit on there now?
I took Captain Hall's word that the weapons was clear. I still should have checked.
See, you're going off again on me.
I know, but I'm saying when you said that part, that's what I felt.
Okay.
I should have checked. As a senior NCO.
Did you normally check every single time?
Yeah, we did. We checked everything. Because when you go to, you have, people die all the time. And you definitely want nobody to get shot by a weapon that could possibly have been cleared or checked. You know, so my perspective, it might seem different to you, because my job was infantry, weapons. I was a weapons person. That's my job.
Okay.
Whether they're machine guns or pistols or whatever.
But y'all had already...
The captain told us, Captain Hall,
what?
That they was clear.
Okay.
And you assume
of course you do.
Officer.
Of course you do.
That he knows what he's talking about. And you don't.
Why don't you think Captain...
Right.
Whatever should be sitting here? I'm just saying.
He might be somewhere, Captain.
Right. So I want you to think about that for a second. I want you to think of that image of Captain, who was
Hall.
his name?
Captain Hall, Hall.
Hall. Okay. Captain Hall, and that memory of whatever that is. Do you get a picture for that at all, related to this? Like it's part of the memory.
I could see him like yesterday, you know, short hair, getting ready to get promoted.
I mean, in related to this memory that
yeah,
you're
he
having.
passing by. You know, I
Okay.
checked the weapons. They fine.
And was there a moment in memory when he said that to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so start there, if you would. Okay. All right. You got me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And give me a second. Okay, no, I'm just looking at what you said before. Okay, so it's Captain Hall and what he said in that memory, okay? And just see where that goes. And put I failed and this Captain Hall person, that memory, part of the memory, okay? See what, just notice where that goes. Okay, what'd you get there?
Just him saying the weapons clear.
Okay.
Walking off.
Okay. And what are you feeling right now when you hear that? It's okay, whatever he said. The weapons are okay, blah, blah, blah. What did you think or feel at that moment? Back then?
Back then?
Yeah, I'm sorry, back then.
Nothing really. He's the captain. He's our commanding officer. He's been here 4 years like us. So
Okay.
his word is valid, you know.
Okay. Okay, I want you to go with that. His word is valid. Okay, just think about that for a second. Just think of that scene and his word is, him walking by and his word is valid. His word is valid. What did you get there?
Nothing,
Just the thought.
yeah.
Okay. And what do you
We
think
went
about
on
that
with our
now?
business.
What do you think? Huh?
We just went on with our business.
Went on with our
Get ready to go down range.
Because his word
Yeah.
is
Yeah, his word valid. Commanding officer.
commanding officer. Okay. What feelings do you get right now? What are you feeling right this moment? Feelings.
I'm trying not to have any.
Well, we're trying to process.
I know,
this
but
out,
the one I was having was not
No,
conducive.
Wait a minute. What?
It was not conducive to, you know, I was trying to be more positive, you know, but I thought something.
Okay, I told
By
you not
Captain,
to do it.
I know. But
I told you let it happen, let it flow, and let it go.
We
and
wanted to
don't
really
Didn't
hurt
I tell you
Captain
at the
Hubbard.
beginning? Don't do anything. You do nothing. You
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
try to do bad. I mean, not bad. You don't try to hold back. You don't try to not hold back.
Ooh.
You do nothing and stuff. Let it go and let it flow.
Yeah.
Just let it happen. That's gonna mess up the process.
No, my feeling, I was just didn't want to be,
Well, I told you to do
Captain.
nothing but just be. Remember?
you know, was
Okay.
it?
So you got to be real here, just for our
Yeah,
purposes.
I thought that maybe when that came, that somebody from the National Guard put that round in that weapon, and might that was Captain Hall. He did check, you know.
Oh, so just a possibility just popped in there.
Yeah, you know
Okay,
that
all
it
right.
wasn't Captain Hall. That it could have been someone who did it after he checked the weapons, you know, because we had like
So you're thinking you're going off the.
no, but it was, that thought it came to me.
In? Okay.
It wasn't
Okay.
Captain
You're
Hall.
not trying to overthink this thing.
No, it wasn't Captain Hall. You know, it's like it had to be one of the officers.
Okay, but that just came to you through the
Yes, ma'am.
taps, right?
By
Okay, you're not
Captain
trying
Hall.
to. I don't want you going off and thinking of your own all kinds of stuff.
No,
I just
no.
we're only dealing with what's coming up here. Okay.
It came to that when I said he
Okay.
was valid,
Okay.
he was
gotcha.
innocent. You know,
Okay, so he was in. Okay, let's go with that.
yeah,
Captain Hall was innocent.
he didn't stand to gain anything.
Okay, let's go with that. Captain Hall was innocent.
No,
Okay, just go with that. Just let that idea just kind of be there. So Captain Hall was innocent. Does that mean even if he just missed it somehow?
well, I thought maybe he did miss it because he was an infantry officer, so he knew to leave the the tray open so you can look inside to make sure there's no rounds inside.
But is it possible he just missed it?
Nah, I just think about it. They was open. The weapons, when you get the 50,
Yeah.
you slide into the side, but in order to put it in the side, you have to open the tray.
Okay.
So it was open when we got there.
Got it.
So he
And
didn't miss it.
Okay, so it was open
Right,
and clear or whatever.
right. So that means someone put a round in there. So,
Okay, I didn't
yeah,
never hear
you got,
Okay,
you open
okay.
it.
So Captain Hall is innocent,
Right.
but he said it's clear.
You said it's clear.
And so you, Preston, said what or thought what?
Well, I didn't.
Okay. Like,
It's
okay.
all right.
Just all right. Okay,
Yeah.
it's all right.
Hmm.
And just hang with that. That you heard him say that and you said, it's all right. He just checked it. He just checked it. It was just checked, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go with that. He just checked it. It's all right. All right, what'd you get there, if anything? Not
That's
much.
it.
Okay. What do you think of when you, because these things are kind of coming up for you, what do you think now or feel now when you realize he checked it, it was clear, he saw it, he said, good to go, and yeah, and what about you?
Hmm?
What about you? Like, you heard him, you know he saw it, it was empty, I'm sure, you know, he said it's good. Right.
Yeah.
So, really, what could you have done better? Because you had a guy just see it and say, we're good.
Right.
What else?
Captain.
What other option would you have? Oh, I don't believe you. You're joking.
And you
It's
don't wanna
April
say
Fool's Day, right?
No, you don't want to say that to the
Of
captain.
course. Well, that's true too. But
Yeah.
but you still didn't believe. You believed what he
Yeah,
said.
I take him at
Of
his
course
face
you-
value.
of
Take
course
the
you
word
did.
face value.
The guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, when you said I did the best I could, how does that resonate with you? I mean, you just told me he checked it. It's clear. The thing was up. It was clear. He said, okay, I don't know if there's a round that got in there. And we don't know. But we just know he said, he checked, it's clear. He said it to you. It wasn't like you said, oh, I left even though he didn't really tell me. He did.
Mm-hmm.
So how well does I did it the best I could resonate with that scenario of he checked, it's clear, he said clear, or what was his words again?
Yeah, clear. All weapons
Oh,
clear,
clear.
which means
All weapons
that
are
there's
clear.
no rounds inside.
Okay.
All clear.
So how then? And you said you didn't even bat an eye. I was like, okay, like right. I mean, he said it.
No, yeah.
So how does I did the best I could resonate with that scenario? I did the best I could, given what he said.
I take him at his word.
Yes. Okay.
He said it. He's a captain.
I take him at his word. He's a captain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a sergeant.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Trust, esprit de corps,
Mm-hmm.
morale, discipline, all that came into play.
Right. It was, yeah. He said it. He just checked it. Now, if he missed something, I don't know. We will never know, maybe, right? But that would be on him a little bit. If that's the case, right? I mean, right?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I'm
Yeah,
not
we,
trying to.
yeah,
trying
we
to
never.
point
Yeah,
the
we
finger to-
yeah we never got the situation report for that, so we don't know. Yeah. So.
That's okay. So when you think of this situation with mainly the part that you're sort of stuck on, which is what could I have done better, or what can I? Where do you how disturbing does this thing feel now? I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to still bother you, but we're trying to move through it a little bit. I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to act for any major jumps. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, I looked at my hands.
We're trying to get perspective here. That's all
Yeah.
we're trying to do here. Let the brain process it out so you can today get perspective and work through it, but also get perspective. That's what I find EMDR does. Is it can take you through some of the emotional stuff, but it also can give you perspective. Like,
I had stopped looking at my hand, my right hand, and I looked at it, a couple of times while we was going through this, because this is the hand that I put on him to save to close the wound.
Right.
And I even start using my left hand more.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Me, I'm ambidextrous. My mother taught us to be
uh-huh.
ambidextrous, so I started using my left hand more. And then I was thinking when I thought about Captain Hall, that I've had some kind of, not grudge, but doubt.
Yes.
Seriously, that he might have had what is called dereliction of duty. In the military, that's a very serious charge, and they covered it up. So, because we didn't get to see the NCO, I'm supposed to get to see the report. This is my soldier. This is my driver. I need to know what happened, so we can prevent a repeat of this incident.
Yeah.
None of those safeguards or procedural rules was ever enacted in this situation. It was just open and shut. Don't ask no questions. Yeah, and it bothered me.
So dereliction of duty means you
failed to do your job.
He failed. I was gonna say
he failed in the death of a person, which is like Fort Leavenworth. But they was threatening us with going to Fort Leavenworth. Yeah, you go to prison. They threaten us. A lot of officers lose their career. They never publish it.
Okay.
They don't mention that to the public too much. They just take their rank.
Yeah.
They can't get jobs with the federal government.
Right.
They never close this chapter of this book.
So you're saying that you think he might have had a dereliction of duty?
Yeah, all this time. So now I'm thinking maybe
that was
my take on it.
That's your
all the
take
time.
On it.
So the rest it was a dereliction of duty.
He messed up.
He messed up. But now when I'm thinking, reprocessing, maybe another officer might have tried, because the belt, like I said,
Maybe another officer might have what?
The officers we was training might have put around in to see how it works. Because you got to watch those. Those rounds, excuse me, from the end of this stick to here.
I'm like, what are you doing?
That's the round.
Sorry.
Oh, did you? What's that?
Sorry.
This how long that round was that went through his back.
Okay, right. Mm-hmm.
So if in order for that round to get in that weapon, they're on a belt of other rounds.
Yeah.
It was a single round.
Okay, so I want to do one thing before you leave. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
No, we will continue.
It's good.
We'll continue next time.
Okay.
All right. By the way, I won't be here in 2 weeks, but I will be here next weekend. I'm glad I'm glad this is not next week. But anyway, and don't worry if you have dreams or whatever. And I apologize, sort of, but it's your brain just continuing to process this through. Okay. You may not. Okay. You may not, but if you did, you'd be like, oh, it's causal. No, it's not. I'm causing. It just means your brain's trying to process it through again. And it's a good, even though it might be yucky, it's still trying to process it, which is not a bad thing. Right. Now, real quick before you leave, you said he made derelict of duty.
Dereliction of duty.
And then you said you just said he failed to. You said something. He failed to what?
Perform his duties.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
There's a sign.
He said, I knew it was something. He said he sort of failed to. Yeah, he failed to perform his duties. That was the captain. Right. Okay, so before you leave, I want you to just think of that moment, that phrase you just came up with spontaneously. That captain, what's it?
Hall.
Oh, dang on it! Why do I keep Mason? I don't know. I got Mason stuck in my head. Captain Hall. I don't know who that is. Failed to do his duties. I didn't fail. He actually might have failed. Looks like it. Okay, that's an interesting pop-up, isn't it?
So.
I mean, doesn't matter what I think. It is to me, but it mostly means for you. You might have known this stuff. It's different when processing. So this is where this is kind of gone to.
It's like they call it kick the can. And whoever land in front of them, that's the person that's responsible. But
Well, no, I'm just talking about the process we're doing here.
Yeah.
It's like this is where kind of things pop up, it kind of things, and
Yeah.
that's why you have to be very skilled. Because and I'm not saying I'm just saying because it the way this works is here and there, but the way that this is kind of it's interesting how that we've gotten here. So I just wanted to leave you with that, like. He failed maybe, and even if the mystery is still a little bit out there, and you're not trying to, not about trying to blame or find fault. It's just it is releasing some fault for you,
right.
because that's an irrational belief based on a lot of things that we can talk about sometime. But one of them is we want to have control, and number two is we just I don't know, just because when things are at a height, we want to try to explain it, we want to try to control it, we want a lot of reasons why. You do that, but the fact that it came for you spontaneously is that he said it, I believed it, there's no reason not to, and he failed. Right now it looks like he might have failed to see something. We don't know for sure, but we know it wasn't you. We just know he might have.
Right.
You just went, okay. You don't even, and you said he's captain, so, either which way, if you had any doubts, you would have checked it.
Right.
Of course you didn't have any doubts. Why would you? Okay, so that's what I want to leave you with, because that's what came up. Okay, we'll see you next week.
Yes, ma'am. You be safe. Enjoy your weekend.
Weekend?
And
We
you-
just got off a weekend.
Yeah.
I gotta go. God, I'm late.
Your weekday should be a week.
Okay, well, take care.
All right, see you
All right,
later.
we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right. Anything in between, let me know.
I sure will.
Okay. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Yeah, hey,
Oh,
if
somebody-
you need anything this week, please.
I sure
Call
will.
me.
Hey, thank you.
Okay.
Hey, thank you, Ms. Angel.